Hi guys, I'm Thomas Moran, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you the day 2 tips and the Placepot for today at Cheltenham Festival. Hope you had a good day yesterday, guys. I'm not quite sure how I did as well as I did day 2. So first race of the day, really like this Final Demand from Willie Mullins. A lot of people will be saying, it's the favourite, but actually I thought it'd be much shorter than this. Actually, if you can get anywhere near 7-4, which is showing here with BetMGM Grosvenor, anywhere around that price, I think that's a really nice price. Loved its first 2 races. It's unexposed, lots of room for improvement there. Of the rest, New Lions obviously going to be supported, but not for me. It looked really good winning last time, but my times weren't as good as Final Demand. And the Yellow Clay is an each way bet. If you guys wanted to do an each way bet, I think that'll run really well as well. But my nap of the day is Final Demand. Second race of the day, the Brown Novices Chase. If you've seen my video for my best bet of the week, it is Ballyburn. Is it Ballyburn at 8-13? No, it is not. So for me, it's 1.66, something like that on Betfair. I do think it's going to win. I think it's quite fairly weak race. It's sort of been chopped up, and for me, if you want more information on this horse, then look back at that video, but just quickly go through it. Ran really well at Punchestown, really nice time, then took on Sergino. No idea why it went for 2 miles. Took on Sergino, actually jumped well, just Sergino was way too good. And then last time didn't jump amazingly, and lost a bit of speed in the air, but still went on to win very, very comfortably. I think the step up in trip is going to be a very, very good thing for this horse. Of the rest, I thought Better Days Ahead might be the one potentially chasing at home. Of the others, there's nothing I like there, so I'm not going to tip this up in my bets today because I don't like the price. I'm on at 9-4, so I'm just going to sit, watch, and really hope that Ballyburn does the job there. Third race of the day, the Coral Cup Handicap Hurdle. This was a bit of a minefield for me. There wasn't really a bet in the race that I liked that much, so I'm going to ignore that one for you guys. Be aware, there's been a lot of talk for that one, but yeah, having done my research, there was nothing there I liked. In this race, I thought there was a couple that had a decent each way chance, but I'm going to stick with Cocoa Beach for Gordon Elliott. I thought it's good, really, really. Obviously, there's some cracking horses in here, but I just thought at the prices, Gordon Elliott's got a few in here. Sam Ewing's on board. I thought ran well last night. I'm not going to tip it up on here, but I thought if anyone wanted an each way play around 22-1, if you can get big places on this, because this race, I don't mind doing 5 places in a 16 runner. I think that gives you a hell of a chance. I thought that should run well. Gordon's got some more horses in that race, but yeah, that would be my each way play there. This race, the 4 o'clock, the Queen Mother Champion Chase, I did like an each way play, but it got taken out. Apart from this, guys, I can't see past John Bon, and so again, I'd be playing this as a single. I will be playing it as a single, and same with Final Demand, but I'd actually put them in a small win double. I think it's easily the best horse in the race. There's a lot of talk about John Bomb not being as good at Cheltenham. That may be true, but the speed figures from the last Cheltenham win were very good. Yes, it didn't win as cosy as it normally does, but you've got to think, this horse is something special over the chases. So it's, for me, winning its last 5, I can't really fault it. There's nothing I can see that out of the field that can come close. Captain Guinness on last year's form, potentially the first 3 runs this season have been crap, so I couldn't back that. Ergamine, I think it's going to like a lot more soft ground. Marine Nationale is apparently its biggest danger at 11-2, but not for me. Solness, I think, out of all of them, that would be my each way play. I thought 9-1 was quite a good price. Could pick up the pieces if something happens to John Bon. And even found a 50, actually not a bad price. If it was around 14-1, 16-1, I wouldn't put anyone off having a few quid just for it to potentially get third. But yeah, for me, John Bon is the winner of this race. The Johnny Henderson Grand Annual Challenge at the 440. A lot of money's come for an unexpected party, but if any of you guys were lucky enough to get on to Maya Town yesterday, I'm going for the same strategy in this race. I think actually Lucinda Russell's got two very, very well handicapped horses here in Trepain Law, Primos. But for me, it is going to be the first one of the two. Trepain Law, again with Wedge on board, who won for us at 11 to 1 yesterday. There's already been some money for it already in the race. I think it was sort of 16s and it's already backed into 12s. I still think 12s is good. Trepain Law just always runs a great race. Looks like potentially they've been trying to sort of nurse this handicap mark, and I think actually ran a really good race last time out at Musselburgh and got dropped £1 for that. I'm very surprised they dropped it £1 for that. Run some really good races off 140, even ran, you know, credibly off 143. I think pound lower. I think again she could be doing it again. I would not put anyone off betting that, so I'm going to put that one up on my selection. I think you can still maybe get 14 to 1, but if you can get, you know, even 12 to 1, 10 to 1, I think is still a good bet. Get as many places as you can, guys, because, you know, like I said yesterday, if it comes fifth and you get paid out for 4, then it's very frustrating. So a lot of these companies are doing top 5. I think that's really good. So yeah, Trepain Law. And if you wanted to do a very sneaky, I always say I'm going to do them. Very rarely do I do, but maybe just a small forecast, very small, but because they're both big prices, I think you never know. And on to the last race of the day. This is hard for me because there's not many speed figures around, but I was watching a couple of Cheltenham previews, and I've already had very small amount on this horse. Where is it here? El Keros for the Moor stable. Hearing very good things about it. Ran its last race really well. Runs really well at home. And for me, I've already had £1 each way at 40 to 1. This is the kind of thing I do on this race. It's been backed in. That was anti-post. That was about a month ago. But I've had another small each way bet on it. It was backed in last night, from 20 to 1 or 25 to 1 into, I think it's about 14 to 1 now. So if anyone wanted a small bet, I'm not going to tip it up on the actual on my thing, but that would be something you could play, get as many places as you can. And going on to the Placepot today, guys, I've just done a quick one here. First race, Final Demand, the new line, Yellow Clay, because yesterday's Placepot paid an absolutely incredible amount. I think it was 11,000 to 1. That's why I play these. You can play them from any stake you want. You can even play them for a penny a line on the Tote website. I think it's still in bookies. I went yesterday and they're only 5p. So if you did want to do a big perm and just, like I say, with yesterday, you know, even 10p, if you got 10p of that yesterday, it's 1,100 quid. Even a penny is going to be 110 quid. That's the first race, Ballyband, better days ahead in the second. The third race, Impossitoire, Bunting, Comfort Zone and Be Aware. Stumptown, Galvin and Cocoa Beach, the one I like in the 320. 4, I'd go for Solness and John Bon. And Trepain Law, like that is my bet in the 440, and Unexpected Party there. And that comes to 288 lines, which if you did it for a penny would be £2.88. Just brief cap on yesterday's racing. It was a bit of a strange one because it was just crazy. I did say yesterday on my thing that Chitara, I would back it for a top 4. I did actually do that. I had 20 quid on that, 10 to 3, so that was really good. Shame it didn't come third because a lot of my anti-post bets were on it to get a top 3. I was hoping to sneak a top 3 around 33 to 1. So that was a bit of a shame, but I did say Kopek de Boards, that ran incredibly well. Romeo Coolio and William Mully, I did fancy them to come second and third, so that sort of went to plan. The second race, Marshborough, I think it's the best horse in the race. I think I was kind of right, but the jumping just completely let it down. I was very lucky that I didn't go balls deep and I was going to have a very big win double on that and Galopin de Champs, but Cheltenham always does this. It really does test you, because every time I seem to want to buy money when I think I've got a good thing, it always gives you a kick in the nuts and just says, no, this is not how we work over here. You've got to jump properly and you've got to win. And Django Bay did incredibly well, but I could not have had Django Bay. I thought it was a 2.5 miler, so to win that was impressive, and it just shows the race tactics and the way a race plays out is huge, guys. That'd be one of my tips as well. If you can try and work out how a race is going to pan out, I didn't see Margaret jumping like a complete toffee, and that's how it goes, So actually, somehow I didn't lose too much on that. Martown, that was my first one, and again, it's the Lucinda Russell and Wedge team, and yeah, it won so easily. Really impressed with that. Got on at 11, finished up 13-2. They must have been backing that off the boards yesterday. But yeah, it beat the favourite, or the joint second favourite, sorry, the Changing Man. There was a lot of money for. So that's where I got a good chunk of my money. Lost Your Mouth, I didn't actually really massively fancy it. Like I say, Jatara getting a fourth. Shame it couldn't have just got a third, because that would have been a really big win for me. But still, I made profit on that 10-3 for it to come in the top four. I think over distance, guys, over another 4 furlongs, I still think Jatara will be an absolute cracking bet. And this was the crazy race, just absolutely fell apart, and just two big fallers. You know, State Man was going to win at the last. Constitution Hill falls early. Brighter Days Ahead gets knocked. I mean, I don't think Brighter Days, my tip, Brighter Days Ahead was going to do much anyway. So that was, and then I actually weirdly had a small each way play at 50-1 on this anti-post, because I was hoping that maybe Brighter Days Ahead wouldn't go, and I might get top 3 places. So I got very lucky on that, and that paid a big amount for me in that race. So again, but that's just luck. 440, I did say potentially Liam Swagger. It's not the biggest each way bet. I think it was sort of 14-1. I did have a small bit on that. A bit unlucky. I fancied Static at an absolute massive price. I didn't put it up on yesterday's selections, but it still ran a great race. I did it top 6. Unfortunately, it just missed out by 3/4 of a length, but ran really well. I do love doing an absolutely massive price like that. Always can get some value. And in the end, I did actually back a very small amount, Haiti Colors and Transmission. I thought, you think, why would you do that at sort of 4-1 and 9-2 at the start of the day? But I thought it was between those two. I was kind of right. Transmission sort of ran okay, didn't jump that well. And I had a very small bet on Jupiter Allen. I got 50-1 earlier in the day. Didn't tip it up, luckily, because it was running well for a while. It just didn't get the distance. Simple as that. Like, I think, you know, on its distance, I think it was a great bet. So like I say, guys, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll be doing one again for tomorrow and Friday, and then the big Gold Cup day on the Friday. But please let me know what you're doing. And most importantly, take care.